Welcome to our weekly Mitzvah Shabbos program. The month of year, we spent 4 programs about Maizede, the Rebbe's youth, and also Rabbi Levi. Well, now it's Sivan, towards the end of Sivan, and especially this coming week is Chof Ches Sivan. And Chof Ches Sivan is a special day. So since we spent the month of year by the Rebbe's father, so I thought I would spend this program a few minutes about the Rebbe's mother. We have to be equal. We know that Chodesh Sivan has a shaykhus to the Rebbe's mother because they were married. The Rebbe's parents were married. Yud Gimel Sivan, Rabbi Levi to Rabbi Chane, and also Chof Ches Sivan, the Rabbi Chane came to America the same day as the Rebbe came 7 years earlier. The Rebbe came with the Rebbe in 1941, Chof Ches Sivan, and the Rebbe went to pick up his mother in Paris. Also, they write Chof Ches Sivan, B'Hashgacha Protius. So, talking about Hashgacha Protius, I wanted to mention that the Rebbetzin Chane, her citizen papers, the witnesses, the Rebbe Bedavke wanted that Rabbi Mindel and Rabbi J.J. Hecht should be witnesses at the citizen. Here is a copy of the witnesses and the date that that she became a citizen. Now, the date of the document is March 3, 1953, the 16th day of Adar, 5713. The same Hebrew date as the Frierdiker Rebbe's citizen. 4 years earlier, the Frierdiker Rebbe became a citizen also the 16th of Adar, 5709. So Hashgacha Protius, same thing. Now, before I share with you a letter that the Rebbetzin Chane wrote Thursday, 3 days before Vav Tishrei, before she passed away. And also a Lashon Tova that she sent 3 days before she passed away. This was written to Mrs. Ashkenazi. Then I will share with you a Lashon Tova that she sent Erev Rosh Hashanah, Tavshin Chavdala. That means 6 days before she passed away. She sent to Mrs. Nemtsov. Rabbi Avram sent his wife, my father-in-law's mother-in-law, and to Mrs. Mindel, and to my wife, Frida. The Rebbetzin wrote, I'll show you the envelope, who she wrote to. This was 6 days before she passed away. And I also want to share with you an article of Rabbi Mindel that he spoke on a dinner that the Rebbe was Magia that. And also a letter that the Rebbe Tzedek wrote to Miss Ashkenazi about the importance of girls learning Torah. But first I want to say something just about Rebbe Tzedek. Rebbe Tzedek was born in 1880. That's I think Chof Ches Tevis. She was born in Nikolaev, Ukraine. Her parents, Meir Shleima and Rachel Yadnovsky, and her father was the chief rabbi of Nikolaev. When she was a teenager, Maimorim Hasidus, Maimorim arrived from the Rebbe Rashab from Lubavitch, so she would meticulously transcribe the Maimorim to making available to the Chassidim. She was very bright she was very talented, and she had a ear for music, like we know her father had also a ear for music. The Rebbe Rashab made her shidduch. The Rebbe Rashab knew her, and the Rebbe Rashab said it would be a pasuk shidduch that Chana should marry Lev Yitzchok. So they got married this month, Yud Gimel Sivan. Rebbe Chana gave birth to 3 children, the Rebbe, Menachem Mendel, then Dov Ber, then Aryeh Leib. And the Rebbe was born in 1902. We heard many things about Aryeh Leib, but about Dov Ber, we didn't hear much. Even for my Zayda, he was, by him in the class, I didn't hear much about Dov Ber. On the day that the Rebbe was born, the Rebbe Rashab instructed and gave brachas, and he sent 6 telegrams how certain things, how they should be with the Rebbe. They should wrap him around in a certain sheet, where I think all the Rabbeim were told that. They should name him after the Tzemach Tzedek, and I think that he should wash Negelwasser with him, and before she nurses him, she should wash her hands, and there's more. 6 instructions. And the Rebbe Tzedek would wash her hand in a ritual manner, and she would do the same thing to the Rebbe. She also, I think, sewed, I don't know if that was an instruction, sewed the Rebbe's tzitzis. I mean, there's people, I guess, who understood what the Rebbe Rashab told them, that this child will be I don't know what they thought, a Rebbe, but he would be a great person. Now, when her husband, Rebbe Tzedek's husband, Rebbe Yitzchok, was in prison, she helped him write and inspired him to write Torah and Halacha, and she preserved his writings. Rebbe Yitzchok passed away Chof of 1944. She wanted to see her children. Her children were not there, none of them. But she especially wanted to see her oldest son, which is the Rebbe. So Chassidim helped her to give her money for a ticket to leave Almaty, and she went first to Moscow. She arrived in Moscow in 1945 and lived in a small suburb. For some reason, she had to run away from a danger. And then the Chassidim helped her. She crossed the Russian-Polish border, and she arrived in Krakow and then Peking in Germany. Her oldest son, the Rebbe, then he was in New York, so he sent a telegram to the people there to intervene on his mother's behalf on obtaining necessary papers for a visa to continue the journey. And eventually the Rebbe Tzedek, this is in short, I'm telling you, left Peking and Munich, Frankfurt, and she came to Paris. And she arrived in Oder 1947. As soon as she arrived in Paris, the Ramash, in 1941, the Rebbe, her son, flew from New York to meet her. 20 years he didn't see her. And it was very emotional. After Shavuos, the Rebbe Tzedek, the Rebbe, went by boat. They came to New York. And this is good to know, which I heard from my father-in-law, that the Rebbe wanted, I think the Rebbe went there by plane to Paris, but back, I'm not sure, back for sure not, because I think the Frierdiker Rebbe told the Rebbe not to go by plane. I don't know why, maybe those days it wasn't safe, or I don't know the reason, but he warned them not to go by plane. That's what I was told. So they came by boat, and they arrived. This coming week is Chof Ches Sivan. Now, Rabbi Tzimchane, being in Russia, being in Poland, being in Germany, she had a very hard life. And Baruch Hashem, she came to America. And Yud Shvat, of course, the Rabbi became a Rebbe. So the big nachas, Baruch Hashem, she had the pride and joy when the Rebbe became a Rebbe. She always used to speak about the character of the Rebbe. And when she used to speak about the Rebbe, tears of joy, you could see tears of joy. She always was interested in other people. I think she went to shul. She was an outgoing person. She spoke to people. She went to, I'm thinking by like Bohemian Parade. She also went. So when the Rebbe's brother passed away, Label always used to write to the Rebbe, to his mother, to Rebbe Tzachana, and Rebbe Tzachana used to write back, I think. But she passed. The Rebbe didn't want that she should know that he passed away. So I think that the Rebbe wrote. He knew his handwriting, so the Rebbe wrote letters to Rebbe Tzachana. I think, I'm not sure who I heard it from, but I do know that the Rebbe in sitting Shiva for his brother, and he used to go to his mother every single day, but the sitting Shiva, so he still went, he put on rubbers. She shouldn't be able to know that her son passed away. And by the way, when it became Vav Tishrei, which the Rebbe passed away, Rebbe Tzachana passed away Vav Tishrei, or that was Shabbos, and there's something else. I wanted to say that the Rebbe on Shabbos always wore a coat, even 100 degrees. Because it says Al Pi Kabbalah, you should wear a coat on Shabbos. So when he used to go on Shabbos, he used to wear a coat. And this they saw also on Shabbos when the Rebbe Tzachana passed away. From Farbringen, he went to her house, he put in a coat, and also on the week of Shiva, he wore a coat. I remember Vav Tishrei, I remember the Satmar Rebbe, Zechariah Tzaddik Levracha, came to Menachem Ovel. He was there a long time, and I think the Munkacher Rebbe came. The Rebbe spoke to the Munkacher then about the Michas Elazar. I remember. Anyways, so this is I wanted to speak something about Rebbe Tzachana. I want to share a Nichum Avelim letter that Rebbe Tzachana wrote 2 days before she passed away, and a Lashon Teva. So here is a letter with her handwriting. A letter that she wrote. And it says the date here, Geliebte Freund, Shetichye Blume. I think she was Mrs. Lieberman. I think she was the daughter of the Chassid, Reb Mendel Kunin. And she writes here, Hamoke minachem oisach, b'soich avele tzim v'Yerushalayim, ihr mit eurer Mishpache sollt merk von kein Zar nicht wissen. Die gute Meisim von euer Vater Olav Hasholim sollen euch stark beistehen nach Ksivach Simetova a gesund Jahr. And she gave her a bracha. This is here's a Lashon Teva, and it says here Machsim Teva. Another letter, a Lashon Teva, that I mentioned to you here from, it says it says Mrs. Nemtsov, and that Mindel, Neti Mindel, Frida Mindel, and mother. Here it says, mother 238 Walnut, she sent. Now, when did they get it? Here's the post that says September 11th, 1964. September 11th, 1964. That's the date. That means they arrived at Lashon Teva on Friday, and she passed away on Shabbos. And she writes over here. She writes over here that she Lashon Teva. Let me see exactly. Ashnas Chaim V'Sholem Macheles, and then it says Schneerson. By the way, she spelled Schneerson different than the Rebbe spells. So September 6th she sent it, Erev Rosh Hashanah. September 11th, Friday, they arrived, Hey Tishrei. Now I want to share with you a letter that she herself wrote to Mrs. Ashkenazi, how much she was concerned about girls learning Torah. She writes here, that's her handwriting, and I want to read to you what she wrote. To the esteemed Rebbetzin, Mrs. Ashkenazi Tichye, greeting and blessings. She wrote this in Yiddish. In answer to your letter of the 5th of Kislev, please, am obligated to give you of the fruits of my pen some of my written thoughts. I wish to say that although I am not a writer or a decision maker, the learning of Torah with women, girls, both the revealed, Chassidus and Nigla, is a good thing. I remember when our parents, Zal, would tell us regarding this, the learning with women and girls, that we should not learn Torah with the girls. Those were different times. The way of living was altogether different, especially for the children in Russia, who had no opportunity due to the difficulty circumstances and the opposition to matters of faith, religion, and mainly in the connection with education from an early age when teaching Aleph, Beis, and on. And the work mentioned above enables action and gives strength and connection to religious life and the fulfillment of all that is dear to us, the knowledge of Torah and the life of our people. Therefore, be strong and brave, and Hashem should help you with blessing of Kol Tuv, Hatzlocha, success, and she signs Chana Schneerson, she signs her name. And this is something that later on the Rebbe saw that letter, and the Rebbe wrote something about girls learning. I mean, I have no time to mention about that, but spoke about learning, the importance, because some people feel that girls don't have to learn, or that's not important, like years ago, but now things changed. Now I want to share with you a letter, but I'm not going to read the whole letter, just part. That in the year 1981, Rabbi J.J. Hecht, who was very close to Rabbi Mindel, asked Rabbi Mindel to speak at a Machan Chana dinner that he organized. It was before Vav Tishrei. So he accepted it. So Rabbi Mindel told us to the Rebbe. So the Rebbe says, I'm sure you're going to write down your speech, and since it's for my mother, I want to see it before. And the Rebbe wanted to see it, and he gave to the Rebbe, and the Rebbe made Hagoyes on it. So I'm going to read to you what he wrote, what the speech was, because the Rebbe made Hagoyes on this. There's a 3-4 page letter. I have no time for that, but I just want to tell you the beginning, what Rabbi Mindel wrote with Hagoyes of the Rebbe. This is for Machan Chana. He said, thank you, Rabbi Hecht. I will not dispute all the generous remarks which Rabbi Hecht spoke about Rabbi Mindel, but I must set the record straight. to participate in the annual event dedicated to the sacred, the memory of the great lady for whom Mochen Chana is named, is all my privilege, honor, and pleasure. I thank you for inviting me again, and I'm certainly glad to share this occasion with you. This is after the Haggohs of the Rebbe. Of the honorees, Rebbe Chana of saintly memory, I hesitate to say anything by way of assessment of her personality. I don't think I could do justice to it. I will only say that to have known her is a great privilege and unforgettable experience. In her presence, especially at her guest for a cup of tea or any other occasion, I always felt that I was of the presence of Malchus, royalty, and was tempted to address her, calling her as Your Majesty. And by the way, Rebbe Chana went to visit Mrs. Mindel in Long Beach. So Rabbi Mindel knew her very well. I think the most appropriate tribute to her could be in the words of our sages, Ashrei Yeladetoi. You will recall that this was originally meant for Rabbi Yeshua ben Hananiah, one of the 5 most outstanding disciples of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. While the master found an appropriate personal quality with which to praise each of the other 4 of Rabbi Yeshua, he said, instead, Ashrei Yoladetoi, happy is the mother who gave birth to him, as if his father has nothing to do with it, nor the third partner, which is Hashem. We can only infer that his qualities were so many and so well balanced that the best way to describe him in 2 words was Ashrei Yeladetoi, a great tribute to his to the son, but all the credit is to the mother. If people should ask me, as some do, you are so close to the Rebbe Shlita, you can see him alle Montik und Donnerstag, spend an hour each time in Olam Atzilus, week after week, months after month, all these years and many more, till Mashiach comes, and hopefully also after that, tell us something about the Rebbe Shlita that we do not know. My answer would be Ashrei Yeladetoi. A mother's influence cannot be duplicated. And then he said, you girls, take note. And now he spoke about a word of Vav Tishrei, this was before Vav Tishrei, which is another 3 pages. The Rebbe was Magia, that beautiful, maybe another time I'll tell you. So since this week is Chav Chasiv and the Rebbe came to America, so I thought I would share this with you. In Mitzvah Hashem, next week we'll continue our weekly program. Thank you.